So today we're talking about the experience of what it's like to buy, to build, and then to drift a Nissan 240SX. Right toward. The Nissan 240SX, 200SX, or the S chassis. Particularly this one behind me is the Nissan S13, which is what it's known as. It is a popular vehicle in all types of motorsports, particularly drifting. If you guys aren't already familiar with it, you guys can always check out Donut Media's video on everything you need to know on Up to Speed on the S chassis. So if you haven't watched that already, go watch that now and then come back to this. I had several 240s in the past, mainly S14s. My first one was a black 1995 black Zenki S14 with an SR20 swap. My second S14 was a wide body S14 Koki 1997, and that one also had an SR20 swap. And then my third one was a gold 1995 Zenki S14, all original, just my daily driver. And then the current one, which is the 1997 S14 Silver Moss, all factory paint, which is the one you guys see in my YouTube videos. And this one is my first and only S13 model, 1989 240SX, and that's the one I use for my dedicated drift car. The 240SX is a commonly known vehicle. It's a affordable, cheap, rear-wheel drive vehicle that's used in many types of motorsports, except these days they aren't quite so cheap depending on the condition you get them in. But I'm going to be sharing you my real life experiences on what it's like to buy, to build, and to drift one of these. So today we're first going to talk about buying one of these 240SXs. The 240SX is not the easiest or most affordable car to get into drifting, but I will be making a new video on the 5 basic mods on how to get into drifting for your vehicle. So if you guys are interested, subscribe, hit the like button below, and turn on your notifications so you guys stay up to date on that. I'm gonna list 3 basic categories of what these types of cars can come in, which make it a little bit of a challenge when purchasing one. Clean examples and well-built examples can go from anywhere from around $5,000 upwards to $30,000 to even $50,000. It just depends on what it comes with. The second example you can get are project cars. Cars that have been started, haven't been finished, or they're running, but they're not complete, they're not running perfectly. A lot of these cars require maintenance, doesn't matter what state you get them in. The third type of vehicle is missile cars. Now, missile cars was a fad a long time ago, and I think they're still going around today. I particularly don't have anything against them. I'm just not a big fan of them, but I understand the purpose of missile cars, and it's to get a lot of seat time and driving and just not care about the vehicle. So how much did this S13 cost me? Well, I paid around $3,500 for this. It was a definite project car, was not in the best shape. It just came with the basic things that I thought were worth it. Z32 brakes front and rear, welded diff, had tubs on the engine bay, and that was about it. Oh, and the Sylvia front end. For those of you out there looking to buy a car, if you are, I would just stick with something you can afford. If you have to get a 240SX, which is this video is about, try to budget around, you know, $5,000 to $10,000. Like me personally, I'd buy a car that's already been built to some extent. It's the dollar value of everything that I list. I spent roughly about 18 grand on this car without the cost of the car itself, and gas, labor, and any of those other things. So just to get just this cluster, there you go. There we got the cluster, got the fire extinguisher, got the roll cage, got 2 Bride Z3 bucket seats, brand new, sparkle harnesses, steering wheel, energy quick release, energy little steering wheel hub, shift knob, drift button, street faction e-brake bracket, which is under the car, can't see, stitch welding the entire car, putting the windows, the wipers, the wiper motor, because I didn't have it on this car. You got the wheels, the tires, these are the spares. Those are the Cosmos wheels that are meant for the car. Those are 18s, these are 17s. The exhaust system, the tail lights, the paint. Man, don't even get me started on the paint. Gas cap, because I didn't have a gas cap. Another gas tank, because I had gas tank issues. And the fuel pump, because I had fuel pump issues. Fuel pump cover. Fuel lines, I still don't even have these parts put in. The jams, side mirrors, I think I mentioned that already. The carbon fiber hood from D-Max, the fiberglass wide fenders from D-Max as well, and the side skirts and the rear bumper that I have over there that I've already thrashed. The front bumper, getting this fabricated, the
front bumper, what do you call those? The bash bar. The headlights, the lights that I already destroyed on this one, broke the brackets, cracked this one. And let's see, the coilovers. Brand new stance coilovers, the full chase bays, brake delete, new clutch master. I mean, this intake, the motor itself, the heat wrap, the heat shield, and the trans and the tunnel. The trans tunnel, I mean, and then the engine bay. Like I said, the wiper motor, had to get another one. Custom wiring to fit with these tubs, coil radiator, all lights. Let's see what else I got. Power steering, a lot of that stuff. Roughly comes out to, I want to say 18 grand. And I know I'm forgetting a lot. Oh yeah, the labor of renting the paint booth, taking off the glass, getting new glass, putting that back in. So the question always is, how long did it take me to get to this point? Must have done, everyone says I got done pretty fast. Well, if you look at my YouTube channel and see where I started, October of 2015. This car was finished probably in February of 2019. So it's been roughly about 3.5 years-ish around that time to get this thing driving. And even when I did get it driving, I had to do a lot more maintenance. I had to do the shakedown test, I had to drive it through the racetrack. I ended up destroying the body kit. I spent so much money on the paint and everything else, and like, but that's what drifting is. So if you guys want to know, is it worth it? Probably not, unless you really, really love drifting like I do. Would I have done it differently? Yes, I probably would have just bought a built S13 for like maybe $15,000, like a really, really nice one. And then used that, modified it, customized on the exterior a little bit more, and went drifting with that. And I'm sure I would have a better motor, because this is a stock KA. It is not an SR20 or anything crazy, but it is super reliable. What would I add next? Well, that's for the next video for you guys to find out. But I hope this video gave you guys some insight on what it's like to buy and to build a 240SX. Just want you guys to know, building a car is the make or break point in any motorsport. I highly recommend not going too crazy. That's the reason why I'm gonna making that new video, the 5 basic mods to get into drifting now. So again, subscribe, stay tuned, turn on your notifications so you guys can get into that. And I hope you guys like it. If you guys have any questions or comments, just post them down below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Other than that, I'll see you guys later.